Hi friends, today for our small group lesson we're going to do a math lesson with shapes. And we have a math word problem here that asks us a question. But to get to the question we have to do what it says up top first. So let's read the directions. It says, if you draw a house using a square with a triangle on top of it, then a rectangle for a chimney, a rectangle for the door, and a circle for the doorknob, how many shapes did you use to draw your house? So it wants us to draw a house and it wants us to use these shapes. So let's start by looking at the first shape it wants us to use. So the question says, if you draw a house using a square. So the first thing I'm going to draw is a square. A square has how many sides? Good, has 4 sides. So I'm going to draw a square with 4 sides. Now, if I'm drawing a square and that has 4 sides, should I make them all the same sides, or should I make them different sizes? Good. If it's a square, it should be all the same size. So let's draw 4 sides that are all the same. Okay, there's my square. 4 sides that are all the same size. Now, let's see what it says next. A triangle on top of it. So I need to draw a triangle on top of the square. Can you point to the top of the square? Good job. This is the top of the square. So we're going to draw a triangle up here. A triangle. How many sides should I put on my triangle? Good. 3 sides on a triangle. So we're going to start at the top and pull down. And then come back to the top, pull down. So 1, 2, 3 sides. So there's my triangle with 3 sides on top of the square. Then it says a rectangle for a chimney. So we are going to draw a rectangle for the chimney. Where would a chimney go on a house? On the roof. So we're going to draw a chimney. A rectangle. Now a rectangle has 4 sides, but 2 are short and 2 are long. So our square had 4 sides that were all the same, but our rectangle has 2 short and 2 long. So a rectangle for the chimney, a rectangle for the door. Let's draw the door. Another rectangle. So should my sides be the same or different sizes? Different. Good. 2 should be short and 2 should be long. So I'm going to draw a rectangle for a door. So short line, long line, short line, long line. And there's my door, a rectangle. And then a circle for a doorknob. So let's draw a circle for a doorknob. The doorknob goes right on the door. So there's my circle. See if it wants us to draw any more shapes. We did circle for the last one. For the doorknob, how many shapes did you use to draw your house? So now we're going to count or add up all the shapes that we used to make our house. So we're going to start with the square because that was the first shape that we used. So here's the square. We have 1 square. Okay. We have 1 triangle. So that was 1. What comes after 1? 2. So 2 shapes. Then the third shape it said was a rectangle. So we're going to find the first rectangle we drew, and that would be number 3. And then the second rectangle we used would be number 4. And our last shape that we used was a circle. Okay, so let's count how many shapes we used all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we used 5 shapes all together. We used 1 square, 1 triangle, 2 rectangles, and 1 circle. So 5 shapes all together. So what I want you to do is I'm going to draw a picture with you using a couple more shapes. And I want you to tell me how many shapes you used or we used all together to make our drawing. So the first shape we're going to use is 1 large oval. What can you tell me about an oval? Does an oval have any sides? No, it doesn't have any sides because it is round. So if something is round, it doesn't have any sides. So we're going to draw 1 oval. Okay, there's our oval. Then we are going to draw 2 rectangles. And I want you to tell me if you can guess what this drawing is. We're going to draw 2 rectangles on our oval. So the rectangle will have a short side, a long side, a short side, a long side. It's our first rectangle. Now our second rectangle we're going to draw on this side. It's going to have a short side, a long side, a short side, and a long side. So there's our second rectangle. Then we're going to draw 2 small circles inside. 1, 2. Okay. Then we need to put 1 square under the 2 small circles. So here are the circles. We're going to put 1 small square. So let's put our square. Remember, a square has 4 sides that are all the same. So I'm going to draw my square for his nose. And my last shape will be 1 triangle under the square. One triangle under the square. Do you know what this is? What did we draw? This is supposed to be just a little pet dog. So we used shapes to make a dog. Okay? And we used 1 oval, 2 circles, 1 square, 1 triangle, and 2 rectangles. So I want you to count how many shapes we used all together to make our dog. Okay? 1 oval, 2 circles, 1 square, 1 triangle, and 2 rectangles. How many shapes did we use all together to make our dog? And tomorrow I will tell you and we can count together to see how many we used. Hope you guys have a good night.